Hi everyone, and welcome back to TLC. Thank you for joining me. Today's song review is Buffalo Soldier. It was released in 1978 by Bob Marley. And the lyrics begin. Buffalo Soldier, dreadlock Rasta. There was a buffalo soldier in the heart of America, stolen from Africa, brought to America. Fighting on arrival, fighting for survival. Said it was a buffalo soldier, dreadlock Rasta. Buffalo soldier in the heart of America. The Buffalo Soldiers are known as the U.S. Cavalry Regiments that fought in the Indian War back in 1866. Stolen from Africa are the many Africans that were stolen, that were kidnapped from their homes. This included Oluwado Equiano. Oluwado, which means God is good in the Yoruba language, a child in Africa, in the Kingdom of Benin, which is now known today as southern part of Nigeria, was stolen from Africa and then taken to the Caribbean, and then sold as a slave to the British Royal Navy officer. Part of the Sons of Africa, he led the group of abolitionists of Africans living in Britain, an active young man among the leaders of the anti-slave trade movement in the 1780s. Almost a decade later, he went on to publish his autobiography entitled The Interesting Narrative of the Life of Oluwado Equiano in 1789. This book, it depicted the horrors of slavery. You can listen to this audiobook on this channel called The Interesting Narrative of the Life of Oluwado Equiano. When Bob Marley says fighting for survival, he is relating this to the horrific stories told of slavery, survivors such as Sojourner Truth. Sojourner Truth, a woman activist fighting for women's rights, in 1826 escaped to her freedom with her baby. She then wrote the famous speech in 1851 called Ain't I a Woman? Well, children, while there's so much racket, there must be something out of the kettle. I think that bewicks the Negroes of the South and the women of the North, all talking about rights. These white men going to be in a fix pretty soon. But what's all this here talking about? That man over there says that women need to be helped into carriages and lifted over ditches and to have the best place everywhere. Nobody ever helped me in carriages or over mud puddles or give me any best place. Ain't I a woman? Look at me. Look at my arms. I have ploughed and planted and gathered in the barns, and no man can head me. Ain't I a woman? I could work as much and eat as much as a man when I could get it. I bear the lashes as well. Ain't I a woman? I have borne 13 children and seen almost all sold off to slavery. And when I cried out with my mother's grief, none but Jesus heard me. Ain't I a woman? Then they walk about this thing in the head. What's this they call it? What's this they call it? Intellect. That's it, honey, intellect. What's that got to do with women's rights and Negroes' rights? If my cup will hold but a pint and yours will hold a quart, would you be mean not to let me have my little half measure full? And then that man back there in the black, that man back in the black says that women can't have as much rights as men because Christ wasn't a woman. Where did your Christ come from? Where did your Christ come from? From God and a woman. Man had nothing to do with this. Now, if the first woman that God ever made was strong enough to turn this world upside down all alone, these women together ought to be able to turn it back and get it right side up again. And now, there's asking to do it. And you men better let them. Obliged to you. Thank you for letting me speak to you this morning. Now, old Sojourner ain't got nothing more to say. Mr. Marley goes on to say, if you know your history, then you would know where you're coming from. Then you wouldn't have to ask me, who the heck do I think I am? I'm just a buffalo soldier in the heart of America, stolen from Africa, brought to America. Said he was fighting for a rival, fighting for survival. Said he was a buffalo soldier, win the war for America. Bob Marley speaking of the 400 years of slave history, and then even the 2,000 years of history and knowledge that's been hidden. Somehow, he seemed to know a lot more than us, just as Marcus Garvey did. Then, stolen from Africa, I can relate this to Harriet Tubman's story. Harriet Tubman, her parents were taken from Africa, from their homes, and they were brought to the United States of America on a ship to work for a rich landowner. Harriet Tubman grew up only knowing the small world, the hut and the fields she worked in. Then one day, whilst working, she was struck with a rock on her head by a slave master when she refused to go after a runaway slave. He hit her in the head with a rock. This led to her having health problems. The incident made Harriet Tubman brave, and she made her escape triumphantly. A hero, she went on to free other slaves. She freed hundreds of slaves in America by using the designated Underground Railroad safe houses at the time. Mr. Marley then sings, "Whoa yo," repeatedly, which to me has always meant, wow, what a shock. He then says, "Buffalo soldier, trodden through the land, said he wanna run, then you want a hand. Trodden through the land, said he was a buffalo soldier, win the war for America. Buffalo soldier, dreadlock rasta. Fighting on arrival, fighting for survival. Driven from the mainland to the heart of the Caribbean." So the Buffalo Soldiers' duties were settling railroad disputes, building telegraph lines, repairing the building forts, and also helping the settlers to colonize lands violently, taking them from the Native Americans. They were told and made to protect the colonizing settlers from displaced Native Americans who were seeking to reclaim their homelands. Fighting for survival. Another survivor at the peak of racial segregation law in America is Rosa Parks. She fought for her survival. Known for a refusal to give up her seat on a bus to a white woman after the passenger told her to go and sit at the back of the bus. Racial segregation in Montgomery meant black people had to sit at the back of the bus, while only white people were allowed to sit at the front. So, her refusal to give up her seat led to a protest called the Montgomery Bus Boycott. And over 40,000 black people and white people refused to use the buses. And after 381 days, over a year later, the protesting led to a change to the bus laws in America. It then sings the chorus again, "Woyo." Trodden through St. John in the arms of America. Trodden through Jamaica, a buffalo soldier. Fighting on arrival, fighting for survival. Buffalo soldier, dreadlock rasta. In 1521, St. John was founded by the Spanish colonists. It is actually named after St. John the Baptist. St. John meaning Saint John. In the Puerto Rico capital and the third oldest European established capital city. It seems the Buffalo Soldiers traveled and worked quite a bit. Bob says they were threading through St. John and they ended up in Jamaica. Most likely after escaping, had to start all over again and fight for their survival. He's talking about Rastamen. These were the Rastamen. He finishes this beautiful and informative song with the chorus, "Whoa yo." Wow. Guys, that's the end of the song review and my reaction. Let me know what you all think. Like, comment, subscribe, and share this light. Share the light if you care. So until next time, one love. Bye bye.